he can do it. When you ask him, he can do it or something like that.
You want to train him or you want to have nice furniture? Anything in here you will see is pretty much at one point is disposable already. Whatever he play with it is mostly will be destroyed. So I don't expect it will last that long.
Oh, be gentle.
About 2 years ago, my son was diagnosed with Asperger and OCD. I was told my child is different.
Were you surprised when you were told that your child is different?
No, I was not. For me, I was not surprised because I'm the same. When I was in my childhood, I was diagnosed with dyslexic and some other medical anomaly at the time that they say that I act differently. You will see my kid do with the same thing because his behavior is slightly different. So he either be completely left alone or the group of kids will follow him as a leader. I was told by my parents that the teachers think that I'm infecting other kids of almost sounds like a virus or something like that.
And how did that make you feel?
Horrible. I still remember it. I'm 40 now. I'm still remembering it. And then I can still see the horrifying, sad face of my parents. One puff each, just to calm it down. 1, 2, 3. Come on. He mostly struggled in social behaviors and emotionally control. I was told by the professional that he is already a very academic inclined already. There's no need to amplify it even more. But do you want him to be a loner but excel in what he does, or do you want him, the society, to accept him? I'm trying to find a balance in between. It's kind of difficult, right?
In the life of the child, there may be many teachers, many therapists, many professionals that come and go, but the one constant
is the parents or the family members. Yeah, you're right, dear. Among them, many people want to do more. How can we really move parents from just being beneficiaries to really being the ones fronting these services?
Yeah, okay, come. Eat. No, eat.
You have to be disruptive. Make people aware that you have a child who has gifts and talents. You have to say, my child needs access to something more. Then you need to say, who can help me? And you find them and say, I'd like to be the first to try something different.
I think one of the biggest challenges is the isolation that parents feel. Being a parent of a child with special needs, you're kind of put in a position of always needing to advocate and be strong. And when it comes to a point where you don't know where else to turn to, that's when families find themselves in crisis. At the Family Support Institute, we have what we call resource family members. All staff have either a child with a disability or is a family member with a disability. And they're all individuals that have certain experience and expertise in different areas, and they're wanting to share with other families. We have seen that conversation is very different when families know that they're speaking to someone who is sharing the same journey. And we find that we grow as individuals and as an organization because we actually do learn from each other.
Parents have to be seen as partners in the journey of education. Like, educators are experts in education, and the parents, we need to be recognized as experts in our child. So it's in building that way of how we're going to communicate. For example, here in Canada, we have is, if it works for the teacher and the parents, it's a communication book where you write notes in the mornings, like just a heads up, or we've been talking about these topics at a school, so we can reinforce it at home. So if we build up systems that help us to communicate, the teachers feel like they have the space to do their job.
I think that educators and also parents are very powerful voices, but you could see how it would be a barrier if we didn't know what the goal was. And so part of the work that we're doing in BC is making sure everyone's on the same page in terms of what is inclusion, like where we're going and what supports we need to get there.
What are your hopes and aspirations for your son as he grows up?
He can be whatever he wants as long as he's happy. I don't really care. This sounds a little bit cliche. They'll be all that he can be because I don't know. I don't want him to. I don't want don't want him to travel to country just to pick up education here and there. This is exactly what happened to me. I just want him to be happy and healthy, like a regular, other average, normal kid, and grow up normally, pretty much, I guess.
And I think we're talking, our world is K to 12, 5 to 18. But for those children are going to go off into the world with this mindset, thinking that everyone belongs. Maybe these guys will work at the same store later. Maybe they'll have the same job. Maybe they'll cross paths at a party. Maybe they will meet each other in all kinds of settings. And that's what we want for all our kids, in that meaningful belonging, because that's what inclusion is when you're part of a community with a purpose, with a strength, and really feeling that you belong.
Having seen this, it's something I would greatly desire for our children in Singapore. And to bring parents to that point where it's not just within a small circle, but looking at a much bigger picture on a systems level, on an advocacy level, that they think about having transformation in the mindset where educators and society is concerned. What do you think?
I think we need to find a balance between the professionals doing some bit of that work and the parents. How can we partner each other so that the voices of parents are really heard, louder, and that they are stronger? And I thought that it was the vision that they had that drove all the necessary changes that they needed to make in the structures and even in the culture. And that starts with us really thinking about what kind of vision do we want in our schools.